Hostages is a perfect example of a peculiar genre that hasn't appeared on the Famicom before, and I don't think it will again. It's a European narrative minigame collection. The idea is you have a series of very simple games, all connected by a theme and building toward a story. And it's European because it was a huge genre on computers in Europe. Now the NES did get several more of this style of game, but none of those made it back to the Famicom. As you might have guessed, Hostages started out as a computer game, and the title was Hostages there. The change to Rescue the Embassy mission was done for the NES release. The concept of the game is that terrorists have taken over an embassy, and after 11 days of negotiation, your team is sent in to kill them all. As you start out, you're presented with a lot of difficulty options. Rather bizarrely, they have you pick out one of 3 difficulty levels, and then pick out another set of 5 difficulty levels. And the difficulty levels aren't even consistent. They change different things in different minigames. What it mostly comes down to is that the first set of difficulty controls the quantity of enemies in the first minigame and the speed of enemies in the final minigame, while the second set of difficulty levels controls the speed of enemies in the first minigame and the quantity of enemies in the final minigame. So what are these minigames? Well, there's 4 of them. The first one requires that you sneak 3 of your team members past a series of searchlights. If the searchlight catches them, they get shot. To avoid the searchlights, you can either crawl underneath them or duck into scenery to hide from them. You have to go a certain amount of distance to reach your sniper spot. And once you get there, you repeat this exact same action on the exact same stage with the other 2. Though the other 2 snipers have to go a further distance in order to reach their post. If all 3 team members get caught by the spotlight, then it's game over right there. Regardless of how many got through, you then have your choice of 2 different minigames. You could pick one of the snipers who reached position, or you could pick one of the team that inserted onto the roof. If you pick one of the snipers, then you can scan that side of the building for any terrorists that pass in front of windows. Your ultimate goal is to kill all of the terrorists. There are no hostages to rescue, despite the title. So feel free to fire away when they cross in front of a window. The A button fires, and holding down the B button will speed up your movement. There's also a bit of drift that happens with the crosshair to make it more difficult to shoot. The thing is, enemies don't cross in front of those windows very often, so these sniper positions aren't really effective. Once you've decided that you're not going to hit anything else, you can hit select to go back to choose another character. If you select someone on the roof, you'll begin rappelling. And here you hit the A button to smash through a window if you're on top of one, and press down to let out a bit of rope. If you hold down for more than about 1/4 of a second though, you just drop off the end for some reason. So instead you have to press down for a moment, then press up to catch back on, and then alternate back and forth like that. What you want to do here is just position yourself over a window, and then smash through to enter the building. Which window should you go into, and on which floor? Well, it doesn't matter at all. Just pick one. Seriously, it makes absolutely no difference what window you go through. Once you're in the building, you have to eliminate all of the terrorists. And here's where things get really bad. You're not really controlling things in that first-person viewpoint. You're moving yourself on the mini-map. So hitting left doesn't turn you left, it moves you left. Though you will rotate to be facing left if you're not facing that direction already. It's incredibly disorientating. The dots are terrorists, and they just jiggle around the map at random. They don't come after you. They barely shoot at you. Just hit the A button when one of them walks into your line of fire, and that's it. Clear out all of the floors before you lose all of your team, and you win the game. If you want to see anything other than this message telling you to try again on a harder difficulty level, though, you have to take it on at the hardest levels. Hostages has the same problem that a lot of these cinematic minigame collections do. The minigames themselves are just trivial. It's not hard to dodge the lights, it's just that they make you do it for a long time and you can't really see what's coming up. Meanwhile, sniping and rappelling barely do anything for the game. And the controls in the indoor combat make it almost unplayable. There isn't a coherent vision here, just a collection of very shallow tasks. The individual minigames aren't fun, so the game itself isn't fun. Hostages is trying to get by just on presentation, and that is not nearly enough.